microphone and set it back to the default. Then all of a sudden now the GeForce experience doesn't want to recognize my microphone. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not it. Refresh. Refresh. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not it. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't want to. I flew an entire flight and testing 1, 2, 3, 4. And the microphone was giving me problems. And so I fixed it, and then the microphone, I got the microphone, but the background noise disappeared. So I did the entire flight with my microphone working, but no background noise. I couldn't hear the engine, couldn't hear ATC, couldn't hear anything. Anyway, sorry about that, but I'm just got a little bit of upset about that. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and build a flight plan. Flight plan, press the button here. Software issues. So that would be Mike, Alpha Alpha, Acapulco. Going to Mike, Papa Sierra. What is Puerto Escondido International Winter? And we are going to fly 6,000 feet. And at 6,000 feet. 6,000 feet. Come on. Gonna get our ATIS information here. Not there. Flight plan. From Puerto Vallarta. Center. We want to put the ATIS right there. Come on, man. I'm pressing the wrong button. Right here. So 122.30, press, you're putting that right there, 122.30, press enter, and that's right there. You didn't go in right here, 122.30, in our radio, not our nav. Make that active.
Acapulco Airport information, Charlie 0000 Zulu. Wind 175 at 4.
Okay, well that's why.
7 in heavy rain. Sky conditions. Few clouds at 2,500 feet, few clouds at 10,200 feet, 14,200 feet.
Control 1, control 1, control 1.
Tree 1. Dew point 10.
So,
altimeter
taking off runway 28.
ILS 1 runway 28 in use. Landing and departing runway 10.
10.
VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact you have Charlie.
2981.
Acapulco Airport information Delta 0000 Zulu.
So we'll bring the 2981. Okay. So we're set. This is our flight plan. We got a few thunderstorms to be concerned with. Most of them are way off, but we do have a few thunderstorms in the area, and we are going to go ahead and click on all our lights, take off the brake there, and we are going to contact the ground to get clearance. So we're going to the east.
Acapulco ground Cessna November Charlie 77
Testing
Charlie
1, 2,
ready
3,
to taxi
4.
departure to the east with Delta.
Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie taxi 2 and hold short of runway 10 using taxiway Delta. Contact tower on 119.9 when ready.
Taxiing hold short runway 10 using taxiway Delta Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie.
This is real-time real-time weather. We should make it to Puerto Escondido before sunset. I did this flight already, recorded it too, but I lost my microphone. I'm like testing, and then I did this flight again just a minute ago, and I still didn't have my microphone. So, but the first time I enabled my microphone during the flight, but then lost all my background noises, and so I didn't want to risk losing my background noises again in the same recording. So I stopped the recording and then started recording again, and making sure that I have both the microphone and the background noises. Now what I did is I went to my sound settings and I reset it to default, and the default was saying let your program or something operate or take control, and the suggestion was to get rid of crackling noises, to take that off. And so I took it off, but then I thought, well, that's not making any difference anyway because I'm still getting the crackling noise. So I put it back on. But when I put it back on, apparently it messed up the settings. So I took it back off again. Anyway, that's just neither here nor there. We got it working now. So we are runway 10, and we'll go ahead and top contact tower.
Acapulco Tower Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie ready at runway 10 departure to the east.
A little bit of a
Cessna
crosswind.
November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie altimeter 29.81 wind 175 at 4.
2981.
Departure to the east
175
approved.
at 4.
Cleared for takeoff runway 10.
Cleared for takeoff runway 10 Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie.
Doing a sound check on my last one, but I didn't think about checking to see if I have background sounds. Just assumed that they would be there. All right, so we are on the runway, full power, airspeed is alive, rotated about 55. Rotate. And gain about 7, 8. Autopilot is engaged. Synchronized heading, which I should do before the flight. Flight level change, about 75 now. So the weather's deteriorated quite a bit since my first flight.
Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie continue for east departure.
Acapulco Tower Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie continue for east departure.
Acapulco behind us. Well, that's a beautiful view, the way the clouds reflect. There's a pretty big river that we are going to be flying over pretty soon. backing off now on our mixture a little bit. Go ahead and zoom in on this. So there's a river right there that I want. I don't know if I can pronounce it correctly. Rio Papagayo. So that would be Rio Papagayo. Let me go ahead and see if I can't get Bing to pronounce it correctly.
Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie, leaving my airspace frequency change approved.
Acapulco Tower Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie frequency change.
Bing, can you tell us about the river Rio Papagayo in Mexico? They put in there Rio, R-E-A-L.
Searching for River Rio Papagayo, Mexico.
Not real, Rio. I think I found it.
Sure, I can tell you about the Papagayo River in Mexico. It is a river that flows through the state of Guerrero and empties into the Pacific Ocean near the city of Acapulco. It has a length of about 200 kilometers and a drainage basin of about 14,700 square kilometers. The river is named after the Papagayo bird, which is a type of parrot that lives in the region. The Papagayo River is an important source of water for irrigation, hydroelectricity, and fishing. It also supports a rich biodiversity of plants and animals, such as crocodiles, turtles, otters, herons, egrets, and kingfishers. The river is also known for its scenic beauty and cultural significance, as it has been the site of historical events such as the Mexican War of Independence and the Mexican Revolution. The Papagayo River is one of the main attractions of the Costa Grande region of Guerrero, which is a popular tourist destination for its beaches, resorts, golf courses, and nightlife. Some of the places to visit along the river are the Papagayo Park, which is a recreational area with gardens, fountains, playgrounds, and a zoo, the Papagayo Bridge, which is a suspension bridge that offers panoramic views of the river and the city, and the Papagayo Lagoon, which is a natural reserve that hosts migratory birds and other wildlife. I hope this information was helpful.
It was. Thank you very much. So I bet you that's the bridge right there. All right, getting back to our plane here. So that's the Papagayo River. And we're going to go ahead and contact approach.
Acapulco approach Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie is type Cessna Skyhawk 7 miles east of Acapulco 3,900 feet.
Climbing at about.
Request flight following.
Go ahead and go
Cessna
75.
November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie Acapulco approach. Squawk 5461.
5, 4, 6, 1.
Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie radar contact 8 miles east of Acapulco, 4,200 feet. Altimeter 29.82.
Roger Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie.
Still have that flashing mouse. I'm in legacy mode, and so in legacy mode, my rolls and my clicks it responds to my rolls and my clicks. If I go into the new Xbox mode, it doesn't respond to my rolls or my clicks. So at least I still have the flashing mouse, as you can see. But at least I have control now, whereas I'm having difficulty before. My mixture is about 50% now. Don't need pitot heat. Got all my lights on, might as well just keep them on. And this is real-time time and real-time weather. And I'm hoping to complete this flight without a hitch. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, testing the sound. So far it sounds good. I have the background noise. So I did an entire flight, and then I went to edit the chapters on it and discovered that the entire flight, I had my microphone, but I didn't have any background noises. So, you know, I mean, it just takes away from the experience. I don't think, you know, it's very watchable without all of the sounds in there. Now, I took the control for left and right roll off of there, but sometimes when I return to the drone, it's rolled to the left or rolled to the right. So there's two buttons. The buttons that I used to control the left and right, I disabled, but if you press them both together, it still zeroes the horizon. This is our plane. Thunderstorms off to the side. We are 5,700. We're almost at altitude here. If anybody can explain to me, well, why do they have this arrow right here pointing down? All right, so we are at altitude now, 6,000. And we're going to go ahead and just keep the prop right there at about 2,500, 2,540, 2,550, bring it down just a little bit. Probably in real life, I think they would go to 2,400. 2,500 is good. So we are at altitude. And then looking now at our sky vector here. Sky vector, this is our flight plan right here. We do have the TS. It says MMEX Sigma V1 TS. TS stands for thunderstorms. So we are going to be heading into some thunderstorms. When I did the flight before, the thunderstorms were off, but we are now going to be heading right in. We'll see if, you know, I haven't seen lightning in Microsoft Flight Simulator lately. I don't know if that's been bugged out or what the deal is with that. I haven't been seeing lightning. In all their updates, they seem to, it seems like to me that with a lot of the updates, they're tweaking. And they bring in bugs, get rid of bugs, bring in more bugs. But anyway, we're at 6,000 feet because the flight plan right there calls for 6,000 feet. And we have thunderstorms throughout on our way. This is Google Maps right here. It's Acapulco right there. And there's Puerto Escondido right there. So we got a few cities of interest along the way. We got Coppola, Norquilia, Bajanaco, blah blah. Yeah. Anyway, several different cities along the way. San Marcos. There's a couple of rivers right there. And so a little bit of this flight here, we are going to be flying over the ocean. We have a 7-knot headwind. Rivers there. Go ahead and real quickly look at the Google Maps there. So those two rivers are right over here. This is about where we are. There's Santo Domingo. That's going to be the next populated Monte. Alto, and then sent it to Nemo, and another sent it to Nemo there. I guess that would be all the same place. And then there is Mauricio Gutierrez. There's a point of interest here that I had in the last flight. I want to go ahead and talk about it again. Pico del Monte. Looks like maybe some shrimp farms there, but we are right now in this area right here.
Center on 128.5. Good day.
128.5 Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie.
Contact Mexico City or Mexico Center.
Mexico Center Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie 6,000 feet.
Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie Mexico Center altimeter 29.83. Continue as planned.
Out over this area right here. Real-time weather. We're doing this flight over because of my audio problems in my last flight. Actually, it might be a night landing whenever we get there, because I think the sun is setting around 7:15. It's 6:25 over there now. And we do have about an hour to go. What I want to do now is I'm going to go ahead and set on my flight plan here. We have 090 at 6. So the weather is 090 at 6. And so 090, look at this right here, 090, there's 060, 090. Looks like it's going to be straight in this time. Last time they had me go around, but 090. I do believe that, and we're going ahead and set up. It says 090 at 6. So I do believe what we're going to land at 090, runway 9. So we're going to do a visual. We'll hit load on that. We'll go to straight. So straight will be right over the water there. And then we'll go ahead and load that. So load. Okay, obstacle clearance is my responsibility. And so final approach fix is 900. So 992. I'm going to go ahead and sign my altitude to 1,000. That'll work. So we'll bring the altitude there to 1,000. And then hit vertical navigation. So vertical navigation, the beat path is now loaded. And so we're top of descent. It will be about an hour from now. And we should just go straight into the runway. Now hopefully they don't have us go to runway 27, which is very possible they might have us. There's runway 9 and runway 27. But with the way the wind direction is right now, it should be 9. Find out when we get there. Last time they did have me land on runway 27. So there's a point of interest that I wanted to point out real quick. And that would be the Pico del Monte. And that's coming up right over here, right around this area right there. And we'll go ahead and get into our drone, F6, speed it up, bring it down. We'll take a look at it real quick. F6, am I sped up all the way? Sometimes it's hard to tell unless I actually go there. Yes, I am. Anyway, the last flight I asked Bing AI about the Pico del Monte. That's just that small little area right there. Tell us about Pico del Monte, Mexico.
Searching for Pico del Monte, Mexico. Of course, I can tell you about Pico del Monte in Mexico. It is a small town in the state of Guerrero, located in the Costa Chica region, about 2 hours away from Acapulco. It has about 700 inhabitants, and it is part of the municipality of Florencio Villarreal. Pico del Monte is a paradise where the laguna and the sea meet, separated by a narrow strip of land. The town has a beautiful beach with golden sand and moderate waves, ideal for swimming and relaxing. The lagoon of Xotengo is a natural reserve that hosts a variety of birds and wildlife, such as pelicans, seagulls, herons, crocodiles, turtles, and otters. The lagoon is also perfect for children to play safely, as the water level is very low. Pico del Monte is a place to enjoy the natural beauty and the warmth of its people, who offer you delicious seafood dishes, such as fish a la tala, prepared with wood or charcoal fire. You can also rent a bungalow by the beach and enjoy a hammock, a drink, and a stunning sunset. If you want to explore more of the area, you can take a boat ride to the lagoon, visit the nearby towns of Marquilla and Capala, or go fishing with the locals. I hope this information was helpful.
Thank you very much. Yes, it was. And so I just want to look real quick at Pico del Monte. I thought that was interesting on my last one, so we'll go ahead and just look at the pictures real quick. And so this is where they're talking about here. I'm not going to play the videos, but just like a little resort town, I suppose. Places that you would never hear of. This is the lagoon that she was talking about, some of the wildlife there. Places that you wouldn't really hear about unless you go exploring like we are. There's one of the fishermen right there. Fishing boats. And so that is, ladies and gentlemen, Pico del Monte. And we'll go ahead and go back there. A lot of places to explore here. And there it is. I guess a very shallow lagoon there. A lot of kids can go swimming there. Seafood dishes such as fish a la tala, prepared with wood or charcoal fire. Boy, that just sounds good. You can rent a bungalow by the beach and enjoy a hammock. It's something very cold to drink, along with a stunning sunset. You can get a boat ride to the lagoon. So that's a pretty big lagoon. If that's 2 hours south of Acapulco, then there's probably no direct interstates. It's probably just all back roads there. Not exactly sure how the interstates run. Pico del Monte, Mexico. One of these days I can take my wife there. Straighten out. Okay, so that's an airplane going to Acapulco. Let's go ahead and look at flight radar 24 and see if we can find it. Estero. That one's going to, what's in Mexico there? Embraer E190LR. So that would be Costera. Okay, so that would be that plane there. We're calling it Costero instead of Aeromexico. So that one's actually coming in from Mexico City to Acapulco. So more vacationers going in from Mexico City to Acapulco. We are flying pretty much over the ocean right now off the coast there. We are heading, now you would think that this way would be west, but we are actually heading east. And so instead of that being the west coast, that'd be more like a south coast. As we know that Mexico kind of bends around there direction-wise. And while we're here over the ocean, let's talk to Bing about Puerto Escondido. Hi Bing, what can you tell us about Puerto Escondido, Mexico?
Searching for Puerto Escondido, Mexico. Hi, thank you for your interest in Puerto Escondido, Mexico. It is a small port and tourist center in the state of Oaxaca, on the Pacific coast of Mexico. It is known for its beautiful beaches, its surfing culture, and its laid-back atmosphere. Puerto Escondido has 7 main beaches, each with its own character and appeal. The most famous one is Playa Zicatila, which is considered one of the best surfing spots in the world, with waves up to 20 feet high. It is also the site of international surfing competitions and festivals. Other beaches are Playa Principal, which is the town's main beach and has a lively promenade with restaurants and shops, Playa Marinero, which is good for beginners and families, Playa Manzanillo, which is a small cove with clear water and snorkeling opportunities, Playa Porta Angelito, which is another calm beach with boat tours and fishing trips, Playa Carrizalillo, which is a scenic beach with cliffs and palm trees, and Playa Bacocho, which is a long and quiet beach with romantic sunsets. Puerto Escondido is not only about beaches, though. You can also enjoy other natural attractions, such as the Laguna de Manialtepec, which is a mangrove lagoon that offers kayaking, birdwatching, and bioluminescent swimming at night, the Parque Nacional Lagunas de Chacagua, which is another lagoon system with islands, crocodiles, and turtles, and the El Mercado, which is a colorful market where you can buy fresh fruits, vegetables, seafood, handicrafts, and souvenirs. Puerto Escondido is also a place to enjoy the local culture and cuisine. You can taste delicious seafood dishes, such as fish a la tala, ceviche, camarones al mojo de ajo, and pescado serendito. You can also try some of the regional specialties, such as tlayudas, mole negro, quesillo, and chapulines. And of course, you can't miss the local drinks, such as mezcal, TJ, agua de Cailacayota, and horchata. Puerto Escondido is a destination that has something for everyone, whether you are looking for adventure, relaxation, or culture. If you want to learn more about Puerto Escondido,
tell us about the
From
state that it's
01348,
in.
you are 20 miles east. Descend and maintain 3,000 feet. Expect ILS 1 runway 28 approach via D103J transition. Clear
Searching for
D103J.
Oaxaca State, Mexico.
Oaxaca.
Sure, I can tell you about the state that Puerto Escondido is in. It is Oaxaca, a state in southern Mexico that borders the states of Puebla, Veracruz, Chiapas, and Guerrero, as well as the Pacific Ocean. The capital city is also called Oaxaca, or Oaxaca de Juarez, and it is located in the central valleys of the state. Oaxaca is one of the most culturally and geographically diverse states in Mexico, with a rich history and heritage of indigenous peoples and cultures. Some of the most prominent groups are the Zapotec, Mixtec, Mazatec, Chinantec, and Mix, who speak their own languages and have their own traditions and customs. Oaxaca is also known for its cuisine, which features ingredients such as corn, beans, chilies, tomatoes, chocolate, cheese, and mezcal. Some of the typical dishes are tlayudas, mole negro, quesillo, and chapulines. Oaxaca has a varied geography, ranging from mountains and valleys to coasts and plains. The state has many natural attractions, such as the Sierra Madre del Sur mountain range, which covers most of the state, the Laguna de Manialtepec, which is a bioluminescent lagoon near Puerto Escondido, the Parque Nacional Lagunas de Chacagua, which is a lagoon system with islands and wildlife, and the Isthmus of Tehuantepec, which is the narrowest part of Mexico between the Gulf of Mexico and the Pacific Ocean. Oaxaca also has many cultural and historical attractions, such as the Monte Alban archaeological site, which was the ancient capital of the Zapotec civilization, the Mitla archaeological site, which was a religious center of the Mixtec culture, the El Mercado Market, which is a colorful place to buy local products and handicrafts, and the El Faro Lighthouse, which offers panoramic views of Puerto Escondido. Oaxaca is a state that offers something for everyone, whether you are interested in nature, culture, history, or gastronomy. If you want to learn more about Oaxaca.
And so it's got some websites there. So check out Being AI, and she can show you more information. But anyway, I was looking at some of these lagoons here. I guess you call them lagoons or tributaries. And I wanted to see it on Google Maps here. So we are in this area right here, I do believe. And some of this area right here. A pretty big river there. So we are pretty much over this area here. I believe that when we flew out here from Acapulco, flew over, and so we are just about in this area right here. Some lagoons, tributaries. There's that river there somewhere. Oh, Metapec River. Metapec River. Real-time weather. We are, let's go ahead and check our status here. We are 47 minutes at the top of the set. Go ahead and zoom in just a little bit. We do have some pretty bad weather that looks like we're going to be facing over the runway there in Puerto Escondido. So hopefully we'll do it straight in to runway 9. Looks like maybe some orange trees. Thunderstorms there off in the distance. We got over off to our port side there. This area is some pretty bad storms, and then looks like some pretty bad storms wherever we're going. So we got some yellow and some green. We might get into some instrument meteorological conditions on our way there. What time is sunset in Puerto Escondido?
Searching for sunset time, Puerto Escondido. According to the weather and time information, the sunset time in Puerto Escondido on July 5, 2023 is 7:04 and 4 seconds p.m. This may vary slightly depending on the exact location and weather conditions. You can...
What is the weather like over there?
Searching for weather, Puerto Escondido. The weather in Puerto Escondido is tropical, hot, and humid all year round, with a dry season from December to April and a rainy season from June to October. The average annual temperature is 29 degrees Celsius, 84.2 degrees Fahrenheit, with little variation throughout the year. The average annual rainfall is 1,500 millimeters, 59 in, most of which falls between June and September. According to the weather forecast for today, July 5, 2023, the current weather condition is rain showers, and the current temperature is 82 degrees Fahrenheit, 28 degrees Celsius. The high temperature for today is expected to be 90 degrees Fahrenheit, 32 degrees Celsius, and the low temperature is expected to be 77 degrees Fahrenheit, 25 degrees Celsius. The chance of precipitation is 29%, and the sunrise time is 6:01 a.m. and the sunset time is 7:04 p.m. If you want to check the weather forecast for the next 10 days, you can visit this website.
Thank you. All right, so 7:04. So the sun is going to be setting shortly. It'll be set before we get there. I'm not sure how to get this from UTC time to local time. I don't know if you can on the I don't want to mess with anything right now, but I don't know if you can on the Microsoft Flight Simulator version. I know FSX you could change the outside air temperature to and that was with the Garmin 540 or whatever that other smaller one is. But you could change the outside air temperature to Fahrenheit, and you could change your times here. But this right here has the UTC, Universal Time Code. You know, Greenwich Mean Time. So we are starting to get into some weather now, and we're not even in the clouds yet. The light X-wrap clouds, I should say. So this might be an interesting landing. Time to top of descent is 40 minutes. Yeah, it'll definitely be dark by the time we get down there. Some of the areas that we're over now would be this area here, I think. Destination. Right here. Looks like some more lagoons there ahead of us. Would be in this area right here. We are just about over El Surelo. Somebody going through a business here. The ranch right there. We are, how many nautical miles? 75 nautical miles. What I want to do is I want to do a direct now, since the straight is going to be before us. So I'm doing a direct straight. Activate that. So that changes our time. Now we're 69 nautical miles, 37 minutes. and we're 30 minutes to top of descent. The straight is before the runway. There's no sense going to the runway and then go back to straight. The last time I had a flight, we had the visual approach there, and the straight was on the other side, of course, runway 27. I'm wondering if I can contact the airport now, because there's not anything going on for flight follow for us to be concerned about. But anyway, that would be in Mike Papa Sierra. There it is right there. See, I just want to determine whether it's going to be runway 27 or runway 9.
Puerto Escondido Tower, Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie 73 miles west, 6,000 feet to land.
Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie Puerto Escondido Tower. Altimeter 29.85, wind 086 at 6.
Straight in.
Runway 09er.
Make straight in runway 09er Cessna 7
So we're
Charlie
set
Charlie.
up, ready to go. We've got some gnarly weather ahead of us. And there's the sunset. Sunset is behind us, of course. We're flying east. Turn down these lights right here. We don't need those on for our landing. And then on our, go ahead and turn up the avionics. Looks like everything's on the panels a little bit. Just about over these lagoons here. Real-time time and real-time weather. All my lights on. I wanted to look at this lagoon real quick. And that would be right over this area right here. So we got some hotels there. Got a Playa Banco de Oro. Some really nice beaches along here. Got a church. That would be right down below us there. Right that area there. That church is probably somewhere right over there. Minutes to top of descent. Wondering what that city is over there in that direction. Go ahead, look again here. So this is where we are right here. So that would be Pinotipa Nacional. Like a pretty big city there. I remember when Google Earth first came out, I went and explored. I was just exploring all day long on it, you know, and just checking out different areas in the world, places that I could probably never be in real life. But of course, I could be there now with Google Earth. You can explore. And then now that Microsoft Flight Simulator has real-world maps, satellite data throughout the whole world, knowing that there's a city there, and that city is really there. It just makes Flight Simulator that much more interesting to me. Really wouldn't be any sense doing these flights, flying all the way down to South America in FSX. The older version, because you don't have the real data down there, the real, geographic features. Whereas here, everything is real. The farms, the little geographic features there, the townships, the mountains. So it just makes it that much more interesting. The rivers, that river is really there. It's not a artificially created river like what FSX would do, like C110. So much more fun now, so much more realistic. And I'm wondering about Flight Simulator 2024 when it comes out, whether it's going to be even that much more of an improvement. And I think they'll use this kind of engine, the same base software, but of course have a lot more features. I think they're going to have a lot more mission packs on it and things like that, as far as like doing rescue operations with helicopters, all kinds of things like that. That's going to be more about it. But as far as satellite data and you know, all of the different geographic updates that they do, I think that's all going to be available just the same across both platforms. We are 19 minutes and we're heading right into a storm. That storm is just right over Puerto Escondido. And the sun, no doubt, has set now. It's set about 5 minutes ago. Get to the ground level, see if we can see. Yeah, it's already down below the horizon. I was thinking about whenever I first started this flight, backing up the time. But I was thinking if we still had enough time to get there before sunset. But then I ran into that problem and I had dumped that video and then restarted again, and I just kept the time the same. So we'll be there after sunset. Well, the sun is set already. But we do have an interesting landing ahead of us with the storm right there, right ahead of us. looks like top of our descent right there will be right over that set of clouds there. Curious as to what river that is. See if we can find it. That would be probably this one right here. Almost looks like a dam right there. I'm not finding it. The highway goes that way. So that's probably that right there. Sitting there. So I think this is where we are right here. Anyway, hard to tell now at night. We are about 11 minutes away. drone real quick. So those are the lagoons. There's a couple of lagoons right there. And if you look at this right here, and we got the lagoons, I guess that would be right around here. So I guess this is probably around here. This is what we're looking at with the river here, the town. So of course our destination is Puerto Escondido. We are just about in this area right here. Got the lagoons there ahead of us. And to the right of us. Back inside the plane here, and we do have about 9 minutes. We've already made contact with the airport. We've already been told to make an approach to runway 9. We have the visual loaded on runway 9 with the Garmin G1000. And we at the TOD right there stands for top of descent, and that's when we're going to start our descent. And I set the assigned altitude to 1,000, and that's because on our final approach it's about 992, so rounded up to 1,000. I think that we'll be able to, once we descend, once we get this straight, we'll be able to tap our approach button right there. Right now I tapped my vertical navigation, and that loaded our V path, our vertical path. So we will be descending automatically, and we are 8 minutes now away from that descent, and it's going to be, looks like it's going to be right into that storm there. So looks like rain. There's some green there, some yellow before there, so we might get into a little bit of IMC, instrument meteorological conditions, before we get to the runway. But the green right there I think would be good. I mean, we should be able to see the runway. I turned down the cabin lights right there, turned those down, and I turned up. Actually, I can probably turn this down so it's not so bright as well, the avionics. Probably turn that down just a little bit there. We don't want it too bright. We want to be able to see outside. Kind of like your car dash instrument panel. Some people like them bright. There's the nose of the plane right there. And I like to bring it down just to where you can see just a little bit of the nose, what you can see putting in the panel there. As they say, a watch pot never boils, but we are 634, and you know, I'm seeing this right here, this G right there, so I'm going to hit approach now, see if the GP shows up. So approach, yes, GP. So we have both of our vertical navigation and then our glide path located, or loaded, and when we get to top of descent, I think the vertical path is going to start up first, and then our glide path will take over accordingly. So we're good to go instrument wise. We have 5 minutes, 45 seconds. You can see some of the stars now. Well, it got night in a hurry around here. I live in the northwest, and the sun doesn't set until after 9, and we still have twilight until about 10:30. I would imagine, you know, if you're in an area like Puerto Escondido, where the sun sets at 7:05, over in Acapulco's it's set at 7:17, I think. So there's even shorter days at Puerto Escondido. But I would imagine that whenever it sets earlier like that, the further south that you go, that the twilight would probably not last as long either. I'm not sure. But I can't really see anything out there now. We do have all of our lights on. Thunderstorms behind us, thunderstorms ahead of us. You know, the thing that I haven't seen with Microsoft Flight Simulator lately is lightning. You know, when we look at our sky vector shows TS right there, MMPS segment B1 TS. TS stands for thunderstorms. So there's definitely thunderstorms in the area. And you would think that with Microsoft Flight Simulator you would see the lightning there every once in a while. I haven't been seeing that lately. I don't know. Maybe there's not enough thunder or lightning in these clouds here. Maybe we'll see it as we go along. But this is a night landing now, which I didn't plan. I did this flight before, but I didn't have the microphone. I had, so I fixed it, got the microphone, and then I lost my background sounds. So I thought, and I did the whole flight flying thinking that I had the background sounds. I'm going to do it real quickly, testing. Okay, so I hear the background sounds. We are now 2 minutes and 30 seconds away. We have an 18-knot headwind. I've got mixture right now at about 50%. And we're at 6,000. Can't even see the nose anymore of the plane. It's so dark out there. Real-time weather, real-time time. Just about ready to get into some IMC here. There we are now. We are in IMC. Instrument meteorological conditions. Our total dependency now is on the instruments. You can see a little bit out there still. And I believe that might be part of Puerto Escondido down there. We are now 1 minute from top of descent. $17-knot headwind. So the weather's changed. When I did this flight earlier, they had me land on runway 27, and okay, now so the glide path is now active, so we don't even have to worry about the vertical path. Now the glide path is active, which is controlling both our vertical navigation and our horizontal navigation. So we are now descending. Speed is increasing a little bit. I'm watching the tower, backing off just a little bit on the tower. I don't want to hit the yellow on the ribbon, but I do kind of want to make up a little bit on the time. And we are now in IMC. Let me go ahead and zoom in our range here. It says TOD right there, but we are descending right now. We are on the flight path. You can see nothing out the windows. All instruments today, this evening. I'm not sure about the altimeter. She'll tell me before we land. Descending at about 500, 600 feet a minute, 550, 600. Speed about 119 knots indicated airspeed. True airspeed 142. And we have an 16 knot headwind straight ahead. We are 11 nautical miles from straight, which is our first waypoint. So that's 5 minutes and 36 seconds. We should be at about 1,700 feet, 1,788 feet whenever we hit our waypoint. We are on the glide path. The glide path is active. There we go. Let's see a little bit down there. Puerto Escondido, Mexico, on our flight to South America and back. We started out in these flights from Hoquiam, Washington, actually from Bremerton to Hoquiam, and Hoquiam all the way down the Washington coast to the Oregon coast to the California coast, and then on to Mexico, and then we went along the California, Baja California Peninsula there, and then halfway through we cut across the Gulf of California to the west coast of Mexico, and then we've been flying down the west coast of Mexico ever since. And of course now we are going so far down the west coast of Mexico that we are actually flying east, so this will be more or less like, I guess, the south coast of Mexico. We are now 7 nautical miles from straight. And then whenever we get to straight, it looks like we're going to do just a little bit of a turn right there, the final, and it is raining outside. Now we are in the storm. Still no flashes of light. Going 123 knots, indicating airspeed. Of course, we'll be slowing down once we approach final. You can see the final approach ridge right here, right where my hand is. Backing off now a little bit on the power. Outside air temperature is 21 degrees, so we don't have any icing to worry about. We are in instrument meteorological conditions, IMC. Nautical miles from straight. Since I've already gotten the weather, I'm going to go ahead and zoom in a little bit more. You zoom in more and then you lose the weather, but I already know what the weather's going to be like. So we got a little bit of green right there over the runway. Shouldn't be as bad as what the yellow that we're in right now. would say that we will probably see the runway before we get there. So it's not, in fact, it just stopped raining now. I spoke too soon. On the glide path, there's another TOD right there. Top of descent. We are now. One minute and 26 seconds straight. But anyway, I was going to say we should be able to see the runway in plenty of time before we get down to it. So the altitude for straight calls for 1788, and we're at 21. We are on the glide path. Got a 12 knot, 13 knot headwind. And going into the runway there, it's going to be a little bit of a crosswind, but we're heading right into it right now. Runway 9, that's 090, and the wind is at 10 or at 108. Almost 11, 109. The runways, of course, being numbered according to the direction. So runway 9 is 090. Okay, we are now at straight, and we are making our turn. And we're at about 1700. Clear to land. And I can see the Pappy lights.
Clear to land runway 09er Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie.
Full rich on the mixture. Our final approach fix right there calls for about 1,000. So when we get to about 1,000, we'll go ahead and slow her down pretty significantly, and then we'll put down our flaps. There's Puerto Escondido ahead of us. It's now nighttime in Puerto Escondido. I got 2 white and 2 red Pappy lights there. Pappy stands for a precision approach path indicator. Okay, so we see the 1,000. That's what we set our assigned altitude to. You'll see that coming up. So now I'm going to go ahead and bring down the power. We got this little ribbon right here, momentum ribbon, I guess you'd call that, showing that we're slowing down. And I'm going to go ahead and now we've got the white ribbon right there, 80 flaps. Flaps 1. That slows us down even more. We're at 780, 760, dropping about 450, 500 feet a minute. Got 1 white and 3 red. And I'm going to go ahead now and we'll bring it down to the glide speed there, which is about where the G is, and then full flaps. And now I got full increasing power to adjust our nose. Our attitude should correct itself. Okay, our nose is going down a little bit now. Always want to have a good attitude. We still have only 1 white and 3 red. Now we got 2 white and 2 red. Keeping it around 68, 69, that's where the G is.
500.
Get pushed around a little bit. Our wind 0 0 knots. Okay, well, it's not too bad. Autopilot is off. Can't even see the runway, man. It's not lit up at all. The runway's not lit up. That was interesting. I was looking at the PAPI lights. The runway isn't even lit up here. I don't know why.
Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie contact ground on 118.9er.
118.9er for Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie. Puerto Escondido ground Cessna November Charlie
Welcome to
7
Puerto
7 Charlie
Escondido.
Charlie taxi to parking.
Flaps up.
Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie taxi to general aviation parking via
I think I already
taxiway.
brought my flaps up. It is dark out here.
Taxiing to general aviation parking via taxiway Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie.
I used my Garmin G1000 to find the runway because it is not lit up. For whatever reason, it's not lit up. And I would think that with Microsoft Flight Simulator, all the runways would be lit up by default. I mean, the major ones, the international ones, anyway. Alrighty, and here we are. Welcome to Puerto Escondido. Go ahead and light up the floodlights here. And we'll go ahead and return brake. And we'll go ahead and shut everything down. Alrighty, and here we are. Puerto Escondido, where it is nighttime. Take a tour of the city, but hey, even the runway isn't lit up. Where's the runway at? Alright, ladies and gentlemen, have a good evening. I hope you enjoyed the flight. I will be going to downtown Puerto Escondido and getting some dinner